Good morning. We are so glad that you are watching 3+U today because this is a very, very special show. It's one that we have been waiting to bring to you since we flipped the calendar to 2025 because this is the day that the Tvfcu Ideal Leap Grant Pitch Competition happens for Northwest Georgia, and we have got 5 fantastic contestants waiting in the wings to make their pitch to the judges. But we're going to begin the show this morning talking to Tvfcu's President and CEO, Todd Fortner. Great to see you this morning, and congratulations on this day.
Good morning, Julie. We are excited today to finally get to the pitch competition. You and your team have done a terrific job profiling the businesses that we've got that will be doing the pitch today, and we look forward to giving some money to some businesses in Northwest Georgia.
We are giving a lot of money away. You are to Northwest Georgia. Give us the total figure you're awarding today.
Yeah, so today, the Northwest Georgia area, we're going to give $75,000 in total to these businesses, divided up according to how they place them. As part of the event. And over the course of the competition, we've been doing this for 8 years now. Almost $1 million we've given away, real money to these businesses in the form of a grant. It's no strings attached for them to make an investment into their business. It's not a loan, it's an actual grant to these businesses. So it'll be a real shot in the arm for them to grow their business.
You mentioned the profiling that we have done. There were 21. We're doing this for Northwest Georgia. Then tomorrow we'll be talking and letting the folks from the Ocoee region have their chance to make the pitches to the judges. So we begin with a total of 21 small businesses that we profiled here on 3+U. Now we're down to 5 today, 5 tomorrow. But when we got to know each of them, as your team has gotten to know each of them, they were all so appreciative of what you were doing at the credit union to really help them grow their local communities.
Yeah, we're a financial cooperative. We're owned by the people who do business with us. So if you're a member of the credit union, you're a part owner of the credit union. And so we felt a way to give back to the community. This is an awesome way to give back. It helps these businesses to grow, it helps them to create jobs, and it helps the community as a whole. So we're thrilled to be a part of this, and we're thankful that the businesses have applied and gone through this process with us.
You know, I feel like I got to be friends with everybody who I talked to over the course of this time. And you mentioned the job creation. That's what so many of them were really interested in bringing, with the possibility of winning this money today, but just in letting their businesses thrive. Mentorships you hear about, job creation, you hear about real passion and giving back to the local community.
Right, you can really see the entrepreneurship that these folks have. There's a lot of blood, sweat, and tears that goes into their businesses. They've put a lot into it, and we're certainly glad to be a part of helping to support them grow and continue to increase what they do in our community.
Bob, I've got you. It's kind of a fitting word to use, entrepreneurship. Chattanooga has long been a haven for small businesses. We've kind of made that a mission here, I think, in the city to attract small businesses. But do you feel like the entrepreneurial spirit is still very much alive and well?
It's fabulous here in Chattanooga. We've got a great environment for folks to work and collaborate with. Our team, Tommy and Ryan and the team in business services, work day in and day out with entrepreneurs around the city and around the Tennessee Valley area to ensure that they're able to continue to grow. It's a fabulous area for entrepreneurship, and there's some great businesses in town helping mentor and helping other businesses out.
Well, it is no small thing for you to have awarded $1 million over the course of 8 years. So I'll speak for everybody when I say thank you for that.
Thank you.
And we're going to kick the show off. Our first contestant, you listen as we go through the hour. Imagine yourself as one of the 9 judges who, by the way, we're very grateful for these folks who are in the studio today to hear these pitches, see who you think the winner is, but we're going to kick things off with Gowan Valley Farms down in Georgia. Inside this 40-foot modular cultivation unit, you find a glimpse at the future of sustainable farming, mushroom farming anyway. This is Gowan Valley Farms, the creation of Emma Regal and Gabe Harrison, and the mushroom supplier for many of the area's most prominent restaurants. From spore to store, Regal and Harrison grow more than 12 varieties of mushrooms, many of them excellent substitutes for meat that leave a much smaller environmental footprint. 1 pound of mushrooms requires 2 gallons of water. 1 pound of beef requires more than 2,000 gallons. The farm itself is family land, and Emma remembers knowing as a child that she wanted to use the farm herself one day. Her grandfather championed the idea and encouraged her at every step. He passed away in 2020, but Emma says he would have loved to see the changes she's made, like turning an old horse barn into a full laboratory where interns from UTC and Dalton State come to learn the process. Emma's grandfather often told her that the greatest rewards come from taking a leap of faith, and here they are today competing in the TVFCU Idea Leap grant.
Hi, I'm Emma Regal, founder and president, and this is my partner Gabriel Harrison, co-founder and lead mycologist. At Gowan Valley Farms, we've grown by building relationships, not just transactions. Winning this grant lets us scale those relationships by doubling both our production and our revenue. Right now, we're at full capacity. We have restaurants and institutions waiting to be onboarded, but we simply don't have the infrastructure yet. This grant allows us to take that next leap. First, we'll expand our front end by finishing the build out of our second module and adding in semi-automated technology. Then we'll expand our back-end production to make sure we can meet our new fruiting capacity, so we can grow more mushrooms and provide more research space for our internship programs with Dalton State College and UTC. We'll purchase a 500-liter autoclave, build out a new sterilization room and lab space, and we'll acquire new lab equipment to ensure we can keep up with our front-end demand. We'll also add a freeze dryer and a bag lift elevator to improve labor efficiency. The total cost comes in at about $39,100. And these aren't just simply upgrades, they're multipliers for impact. And while the equipment grows our mushrooms, it's the people who grow our roots. Gabe, tell them how we're already cultivating community impact.
So we've worked extensively with Chattanooga and Northwest Georgia since the beginning of Gowan Valley Farms. In 2021, we were selected as partners for a USDA Specialty Crops Block grant with Cornell University and Kennesaw State. But now we also work with the University of Tennessee, Knoxville on food science research. Since then, we've logged over 10,000 hours of institutional research collaborations. Thanks to these partnerships, we've created a research program at our farm that has offered over 15,000 hours of hands-on experience to over 20 plus local graduate and undergraduate students from the universities, and those are from Dalton State and UTC. We also provide free workshops and public education events, partnering with Outdoor Chattanooga, Lula Lake, and the Dalton Rotary Club, as well as other nonprofits and organizations to teach the community about mushrooms, sustainability, and farming. We host an annual mycology lab at the University of Tennessee in Chattanooga, and thanks to our commitment to mycological research, we have been speakers at the University of Georgia, Emory University, and are helping to create the first ever mycology course offered at Dalton State. We also work with Dalton Public Schools, Walker County Public Schools, local home schools, and other forest schools to provide grow kits and free educational opportunities to children. We also donate mushroom compost to local farms to contribute to sustainable agriculture. In fact, Emma last year was selected as top 20 under 40 in Chattanooga for her leadership in food, farming, and community education. But hey, in a world where new mushroom farms can pop up faster than mushrooms after a rainstorm, Emma, can you tell us why we're the fun guys that people keep coming back to?
Sure. It's simple, relationships. The mushroom world is competitive. We've seen new and old farms try to break into our market, but none of them offer what we do: quality, consistency, and true partnership. We're certified naturally grown using only USDA certified organic products and produce everything in-house from spores to harvest. We also offer custom to chef growing, meaning we cultivate based on what each restaurant needs. That creates the perfect mushrooms for them and eliminates waste for us. We harvest the same day we deliver, and ensuring our customers get the absolute freshest, highest quality mushrooms available. We've had other restaurants that we work with try other farms, and they come back after an order or two. Why? Because they missed our quality, our service, and most importantly, our relationship. And that's why, since 2021, we've had a 100% customer retention rate. In the next 2 years, this investment will allow us to have controlled growth of 25% per year, ensuring we meet our goal by doubling our revenue by end of year 3, while staying true to our standards and values of excellence. We'll sustainably scale to onboard 20 plus clients who've been waiting and expand our presence in Northwest Georgia, Chattanooga, and perhaps even expand to new regions. We'll also hire a full-time employee supporting our local agricultural job economy and deepen research collaborations with UTK, KSU, UGA, and more. This growth also means more research internships, more classroom education, more workshops, more mushroom walks, and more pretty much any event we can for mushrooms in our community, because relationships with the community will always be at the root of our mission. With this $30,000 investment, we'll build a business that's not only bigger, but better rooted in service, sustainability, and science. Thank you for this opportunity.
Thanks, guys. So why mushrooms? Of all things, why mushrooms?
So we moved up with my partner during COVID to help my grandpa out. We lived in Atlanta and he wasn't doing so well, and he started showing some mushrooms around the farm. We helped him with his garden, but I had spine surgery, so we kind of knew that wasn't a long-term farm job for me, even though that's what I always dreamed of, was starting a business out of my grandpa's farm. And so once we started looking at the mushrooms that we could find on our land, and my grandpa kind of gave us the research and knowledge behind it, he was always my biggest mentor. He was an entrepreneur, and he really gave me the confidence to take that leap. He always said that you miss opportunities and being afraid to take that next leap. So we just went all in and became certified foragers, and very quickly after started growing outdoors, and sent in just a big bunch of data to Kennesaw State University when we saw that they were doing a specialty crops block grant for indoor mushroom cultivation. My grandpa had just passed away, so it was very interesting timing, like fate happened. And the day after we sent that email in, we became the 4th and final Georgia mushroom farm to be a part of that USDA grant. And so it's been history ever since.
Okay, we are off to a great start, but the show is just getting started. We're going to take a very quick break, and when we come back, 2 more contestants make their pitches to the judges: Bobby Joe Brooks Photography down in Dalton and Rosie Mae's Alpaca Farm in Wildwood. Stick around, there's more to come.
Tvfcu, a place for all of us.
It's my daughter's birthday, and we're smoking some jerk chicken, and we're going to celebrate. The unique thing about jerk chicken is the spice blend that they make. Lime juice, ginger, garlic, thyme, basil, allspice, berries. The history of jerk is about the story of the Maroons, Jamaican slaves who were on the run from their captors. They buried their food and smoked it in the ground so they can stay hidden. Serving food to me is about memory and passing down stories. That gives the dish or a meal a lot more meaning, and that's such a powerful thing. I feel like creating things like that for people to consume that'll nourish them brings you closer to God. I'm Chef Kenyatta Ashford with NutriGround and Tvfcu, sharing the magic.
Okay, welcome back to the Northwest Georgia part of the Tvfcu Ideally Grant Pitch Competition. 5 contestants today are making their pitches to the panel of judges. We've already seen Gowan Valley Farms. Now it's Bobby Joe Brooks' photography turn. She's down in Dalton, but today she's in our studio to make her pitch to the judges. If a picture is worth 1,000 words, then the portraits Bobby Joe Brooks captures in her Dalton studio would fill a library. These are not photographs, more like mini biographies, and the longer you look, the more you sense the character of the person profiled. Strength, joy, kindness, vulnerability, all are captured by Bobby Joe's lens. She calls it her lens of love, and she discovered her love of it years ago while living in Berlin, pursuing a career in social work. To escape the stresses of her job and find a little beauty, she borrowed a friend's camera and quickly found her calling. The social worker with the heart to heal found that photography could heal too, and her passion to help women celebrate who they truly are took root. COVID and a love story of her own brought her to Dalton, and today her studio welcomes women across the area who want a chance for Bobby Joe to capture their spirit. She offers 2 packages, one a standard portrait, complete with hair and makeup, the other a package called As I Am, a truly no-frills, come-as-you-are experience that brings out the inner beauty that makes us unique. If she wins today's competition, Bobby Joe hopes to expand her studio to make her sessions even more accessible for her clients. Now that would be a reason to smile.
When I meet women and tell them I'm a photographer, I hear, "Can you make me look skinny?" Or, "I have to lose weight before you can photograph me." And the one I hear the most is, "I hate myself in photos." These aren't superficial insecurities that these women have. It reveals a deep shame that they carry about their bodies and the belief that they have to change or alter who they are before they can be seen. At Bobby Joe Brooks Fine Art and Photography, gray hairs are celebrated, wrinkles are honored, and most of all body types are considered beautiful. Through my As I Am portrait experience, as well as my 40 over 40, I help women see themselves through a lens of love and grace. One of my clients after her session told me, "I felt so empowered, beautiful, and strong, and was able to see myself that way for the first time." Another client's house caught on fire, and my portraits are what she grabbed when she ran out. How do I plan to spend the funds, and how will it impact my business? With the $30,000 Idea Leap grant, I plan to invest $15,720 to renovate and expand my studio, being able to increase my capacity and upscale my client experience. $9,580 will be used to upgrade necessary equipment for me to continue to provide the high level of quality imagery that I provide and efficiency throughout the studio. $8,750 will be used to hire a marketing strategist to help me revamp my website to make sure my message is on point and reach a larger audience, as well as developing new marketing strategies, campaigns. The impact, I'll serve more women, which will also double my income and create more jobs. What impact does my business have on the local community? 66% of my clients come from outside of Dalton, so I bring people to the city that I love. Over 495 hours have been donated to serving the community through free portrait sessions, event photography for nonprofits, and mentoring recent high school graduates through my internship program. Through my 40 over 40 portrait experience, I've photographed over 80 women in the past 2 years, and 261 hours have been dedicated to creating magazines like this that showcase the women and their stories. I launched that magazine during an annual art gallery show that showcases the women, their stories, and celebrates them as the work of art that they are. At those shows, over 175 people from the community and beyond have come together to celebrate and embrace these women, as well as getting to inspire the next generation of women. If a direct competitor popped up, and we all know there's a million photographers out there already, why would customers continue to choose my business? Like I said already, 66% of my clients already come from outside of Dalton. They're not just hiring a photographer, they're looking for an experience that helps them shed layers of guilt and shame and things that have been spoken over to them about their bodies throughout their entire life. I have a degree in social work and 20 years of experience in international nonprofit work, which helped me perfect my photography skills, but it's enabled me to have beautiful empathy skills to work among people who are different than me, and I've been able to work in multiple different languages. That helps me provide a great sense of empathy and hold space for women to share their stories, often for the first time. Women want to share their stories, and often they don't get the chance to as much. I offer a personalized full-service experience when a lot of photographers just offer quick mini sessions outdoors that you have to dodge rain and tornadoes and everything to get to. But I craft each of my sessions to my client, and that can mean indoor, outdoor, and a combination of that. And I also pride myself that my women who are in business also can use their imagery in business at no additional licensing cost. What do you expect to see from my business in the next 2 years? With the Tvfcu $30,000 Idea Leap grant, I will double my income serving 60 additional clients every year. My goal is to create additional jobs in Dalton to support the creative economy, hire 2 additional photographers, a studio manager, as well as a studio assistant. I hope to expand my services, and I'll be able to do that by adding such thing as boudoir, which is highly requested. And I will continue to produce my magazines and gallery exhibitions to empower women, with the goal of creating a lasting legacy, not only for me in Dalton, but for the women of our community. And when a woman sees herself through the right lens, she changes. And when she changes, her families change, her business changes, and so does her community with her. So thank you, Tvfcu, for this opportunity to share about the women that I love and adore, but also for investing in a movement of empowerment that's rooted in the heart of Dalton, Georgia. Thank you.
On our site visit, you had some great stories about the photography you do, and it was very moving. I think you call it the woman over 40. Can you tell us a little bit more about that and how it's very unique to this area?
Yeah, so the 40 over 40 is that I set out every year to photograph 40 women over the age of 40. My oldest client was 106 years old, Mrs. Rivers. After she passed away, a few months later, my images became part of her memorial service, which was a beautiful experience. But the 40 over 40 is more than just a portrait shoot. I do provide style consulting, hair, makeup if they desire that. I'll even go to their homes and help them pick out their clothes if they're within a decent driving distance. If not, we do video. But the whole process is to help a woman come and own who she is and celebrate who she is and the stories and the experiences that she has gone through. And giving the women the opportunity to share their story with other people is a main reason why a lot of people do it, because they want whatever they've gone through to help someone else.
Thank you, Bobby Joe. In our site visit, you talked about your internship program. Will you talk a little bit more about how you help students pursue photography?
It didn't set out to be something intentional, if I'm really honest. I had one of my clients, her and her grandmother wrote a book together, and she did the illustrations, and she was just finishing up high school. And at the time, I actually injured my leg, and I really needed help. And so I asked her if she would come and help around the studio. And so that has turned into a formal relationship where I teach her photography. Her ultimate goal is to become a filmmaker. So now that she's out of high school, she does things around the studio like help clean, which I do pay her for, but I've also been intentionally helping her teach the technical sides of photography in hopes that when she goes off to film school, it will help advance her in that career. And then I had another student from Murray County reach out. She's like, I found you on Google. I would like to learn more. Could you teach me? So she came onto the studio for six months to learn.
Thank you so
Yeah.
much.
Okay, well done, Bobby Joe. Now on for our third contestant in this morning's Idea Leap Grant pitch. This one, a true family affair that not only gives you your morning cup of coffee, but a little extra surprise when you pay a visit to their Wildwood coffee shop. Ask most 3-year-olds what they want for their birthday, and they'd tell you a doll, some Play-Doh, maybe a puppy, but not Rosie Mae Lewis. She wanted an alpaca, and believe it or not, she got one, and not just one. After seeing the joy on Rosie's face, parents Max and Megan Lewis thought why not get more, and today they have 9 alpacas, all lovingly tended, fed, and cared for by Rosie, little sister Sparrow, and of course, Max and Megan. It's a true family affair that attracts customers from all over the world to feed the alpacas and grab a cup of coffee at the Lewis's coffee shop that Max built himself. Initially, they thought the shop would just be something fun to enjoy on the side, but now customers start filing in at sunup, and they keep coming all day long to enjoy signature coffees like the Vanna, Miss Dolly, and the Theo, named for each of the alpacas. The little coffee shop in Wildwood is such a big draw for customers that Max and Megan are looking to expand the building to provide a more comfortable space for ordering and more seating to take in views of the farm. All of this born from 2 parents' dream and the love of their child. I guess coffee really is a love language.
Hey y'all, we are the Lewis family. We own Rosie Mae's Alpaca Farm and Boutique in Wildwood, Georgia. I'm Megan, this is Max, and this is Rosie Mae. The reason we're here today is because of her. She asked for alpacas for Christmas when she was 3, and that started this whole venture. Of course, we told her no. We went and looked at a couple of alpaca farms, found out that they're hypoallergenic. I have over 50 anaphylactic allergies, so that was a huge thing. And so how much she fell in love with them. So we ended up buying 3 alpacas in December of 2019. We brought them home in April of 2020. From there, I've always wanted a boutique, so Max got to work on that, and he was like, if you're gonna have a boutique, I want coffee. So he went to all the local coffee shops, and he found that Mean Mug was his favorite, so we had that. We ended up opening our shop in November of 2022, and we make it free for everybody to come to Rosie Mae's to see the alpacas, meet the alpacas. So this money is going to be amazing for us. We're going to add on to a porch to the side of the store. We're going to add on to the store so that we can make our kitchen bigger and also have indoor seating. And then we also want to add an event barn in the back so people can have parties and actually interact with the alpacas during the parties.
With your initial investment, we're going to do those things that Megan spoke of, is add a porch onto the side of the store and add square footage to the store. So it will more than double our seating and allow us to add stuff to the menu that we're not able to carry right now. Also, building the party barn will allow us to increase our profit by $20,000 to $25,000 a year, and then add space for a breeding program for alpacas. Rosie, can you close your ears real quick? That'll allow us to also sell alpacas. So she's not too keen on that. So you're good, you're good. That'll also increase the revenue that we bring in. Not only does it impact the profit that we get, but we're able to add back to the community and the local customers as well.
And speaking of the local community, our impact on the local community is reflected as soon as you walk into our store. We have 14 local vendors. This is all their stuff down here that you can see that they put their products in our store. So not only is it helping other local businesses, but it also helps us because it allows us to have, handmade, unique items for customers that are coming in. We make it free to come, so it's a haven for people to come to enjoy. It's just like your true definition of community. We have free events where we do live music and have vendors come out and food trucks, all kind of fun things like that. And we also bring a lot of tourism to our area. We've had people from all 50 states, over 15 countries. We did calculations, and so we probably saw over 156,000 people last year alone. So, you ask why I choose Rosie Mae's if a direct competitor popped up. I mean, the obvious answer to that would be because we have alpacas and coffee. Like, who doesn't want to go pet an alpaca and drink coffee while you're doing it? But it's more than that. We treat everybody like family that comes through the door. We have mainly family that works in our shop, and we want people to be treated that way when they come in. We want it to have the hometown feel. So when people are coming from different countries and from different states, they just feel welcome in our shop. And also, it's free to come, which there's not many places you can go today that you can just go for free and have your kids play. If you want to get a cup of coffee or if you want to feed the alpacas, you can, but that's $2. But just to come out is free. And also, we have something for everyone. We have mom groups that come out. We have people that come out on day dates. We have tourists coming through. So we're always trying to add things so that way people will have new exciting things, new toys for the kids, new things for people to do while they're there.
Now for my favorite question and the last one. Where do we see our business in 2 years? With the added income from the investments y'all made, we're going to continue to grow, and we have a rental house on the property right now that we're going to change into a short-term rental and allow the alpacas to come straight up to the back door, so it's more of an experience. Also, we're going to add more community events and everything else, and more parties and more alpacas.
You can never have too many alpacas.
So Rosie Mae, I too live on a farm. So when you grow up, are you going to continue to be on the farm, work on the farm?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
How much do you have to love your kid to buy them an alpaca? And what do you have to say to parents who maybe are thinking about buying an exotic pet for their children?
Dude, we really just kind of fell into it. She said she liked them, and we went and looked at them and everything, and it just worked out with Megan's allergies to animals and stuff. It's really the only animal we can have. So to give an animal lover like Rosie something, an animal like that is crazy, and it just evolved really quickly for us from pets to pets and business.
Mm-hmm. Okay, the show is halfway over, but there is still much more to come, not to mention giving away the $75,000 in the ID Elite grant money. But up next, waiting in the wings, we've got two high school friends who now have a business of their own, making dreams come true. Top End Fabrications is next, and more coffee for you this morning, this time from the Red-Eyed Rooster in Chatsworth. They're both coming up next.
Tvfcu, a place for all of us.
To me, there's nothing more exciting than the next project. You have to visualize it and you have to conceptualize it. And then you go ahead and just start taking wood off, chip at a time. That's when 2D really becomes 3D. The inside of a carousel horse is always hollow. Carvers like to leave a piece of history buried inside. Once you're carved enough on it, you put glass eyes into them. And when you do that, they start looking at you. And you'll be working and they'll be staring at you and making sure that you're doing a good job. Sometimes when it gets a little creepy in here, you start looking around and they're all watching you. They got a life of their own. I'm Larry Ridge with Horsing Around and Tvfcu, sharing the magic.
Welcome back to the show, and now we are down to two contestants left in the competition for the ID Elite grant money this morning from TVFCU. I don't know about you, but we're kind of 2 cups of coffee people around here on 3+U, so let's be 2 cups of coffee people this morning on this show, because our next contestant is the Red-Eyed Rooster down in Chatsworth. It's not just the sleepy-eyed coming to the Red-Eyed Rooster in Chatsworth. All hours of the day, 6 days a week, locals and tourists alike flock to Andy Hill's coffee shop for a great cup of coffee, yes, but also for a shot of community and a smile. A Coast Guard veteran, wife, and mom of 2, Hill is a coffee lover herself and first launched her business as a food truck in Chattanooga. Her success was instant, and the Red-Eyed became steeped in Chattanooga coffee circles. But Andy wanted her rooster to have a nest, and she found it in the quaint downtown of Chatsworth, where she fell in love with the people while they fell in love with her. Excited to be a finalist in the ID Leap grant, Andy has big plans should she win: an expansion of her bar counter area to allow more room for customers to sit, and the launch of an outreach program for youth in Murray County to connect with mentors and mental health workers to provide a safe zone where kids can find support, guidance, and a caring, listening ear. After all, a good cup of coffee always fosters good conversation.
Good morning, judges. I'm Andrea Hill, co-owner of Red-Eye Rooster Coffee Co. from downtown Chatsworth, Georgia, where we proudly serve specialty coffee with a side of community and friendship. But we're not just brewing coffee. We're building a movement to revitalize our town through supporting small businesses and empowering and equipping our youth. So let's talk about how we plan to spend the funds. We need to renovate a portion of our service and espresso bar area where we need to maximize our space. Currently, it is both limited in space and function. The new bar will give us the ability to maximize the space, add items like breakfast sandwiches, toasted bagels, something our customers are already asking for. Here's the impact. We're going to be able to host hands-on barista and food service workshops for local high schoolers, many of whom we are already mentoring. This new bar will give us both the physical and operational capacity to do that. Total renovation costs are expected to be $30,696. So let's talk about current impact on community. Our impact goes beyond coffee. In 2024, we donated and contributed to 5 agencies and organizations. We also love to serve our community through partnerships by partnering with local schools and churches, where we open our doors on Sundays, a day we're typically closed for youth groups, and we love to host busloads of teachers for an afternoon treat. In addition, we currently support more than 10 small businesses with our coffee shop. We've also begun investing in our youth, where we have partnered with the Murray County Chamber of Commerce and their newest initiative, Advancing Murray Entrepreneurs. We recently spoke to a class of 17 students about some real-world insights into marketing for a small business owner. In addition, we have partnered with a local culinary arts teacher where we hosted 18 students in our coffee shop for a real hands-on coffee lesson and some insights into being a small business owner in Chatsworth. So let's talk about why a customer would choose us over a competitor. Since starting this application process, we've had a mom and pop coffee shop move to town and open their doors. But we planned for this from day one. It's been our mission to become Chatsworth's hometown coffee shop, and we do this by being locally owned, deeply rooted in our community, and creating a welcoming space for everyone. That's not something you can get from a chain. We know our regulars by name. We know their drinks. We recreate their custom drinks in our videos. We've created a space that's cozy, not corporate. When you walk into our shop, we're friends, and we're gonna make sure you walk away with a good experience and a great cup of coffee. Our quality speaks for itself, and our loyalty shows in the numbers. Since opening in March of 2024, we have built a consistent base of repeat customers. So if a competitor moves in next door, we're gonna stand out because we have become a part of the community story. So what's next for us? Our vision is to continue to grow our brand, our reach, and our impact through finalizing the bar build-out, launching the new breakfast menu, consistently hosting the workshops for teens, adding a second location, as well as building what a community-first business should look like. We aim to double our annual revenue and create 5 new jobs within 3 years, all while staying true to our mission: serve great coffee, build community, and pour into those around us. So in closing, we're not just asking for funding, we're asking for change. Chatsworth deserves change. Chatsworth deserves businesses that don't just open their doors, but open their hearts. Red Eye Rooster was built with that in mind. We believe in showing up, investing in people, and being the catalyst for positive growth for downtown and beyond. We are here to fill that gap, and with this opportunity, we can continue to build something truly special for Chatsworth. Please give us this opportunity, and thank you for considering it.
You mentioned that some teens visit your business to have some education. Will you tell us more about that?
So yes, we had a local culinary arts teacher reach out to us. She does a coffee lesson every year for her students, but she really wanted to add to that by bringing them into the shop where they could see exactly how we do make our drinks. Specifically, she wanted me to educate them on the different traditional style drinks, lattes, cappuccinos, flat whites, which we found the kids really liked the mixology of things more. But we got them behind the bar and explained to them a lot about the math and science that goes behind extracting a shot. And then she also asked us to speak about some insights into owning a small business in Chatsworth.
Being an entrepreneur is hard. We all know that. Can you tell us your backstory and what made you decide to start Red Eye Rooster and your first start?
Absolutely. My background is in customer service, also a veteran with the U.S. Coast Guard. So service is sort of built into me. And Red Eye Rooster, it was something between my husband. We both came up with the idea. He said, let's start a coffee trailer. And I said, okay. So he went and bought the trailer, and then we needed a name. So we got the name off. He used to travel for a living, but he sent me a picture of a rooster one day pouring coffee out of a carafe. This would make a great logo. So I thought of travel, Red Eye Flights, and that's how we came up with the name Red Eye Rooster. His background is in project management, me being customer service, and both of us are extremely driven people. But we just started that trailer here in Chattanooga thinking we were just sharing a passion for coffee. We love to share coffee with people, friends. So we just had a passion to share. But then we learned into year 2 and most definitely into year 1 with the brick and mortar, specifically me, that I wanted to share that entrepreneurial bug that I got, that when you do something you love every day, how fulfilling it is, and teaching people how you can do that and how attainable it is to start a business. So we ran the Chattanooga market, and we got to a point where we realized it needed a permanent home, a community, and my husband's from Chatsworth, so we chose Chatsworth. They didn't have a real true cafe experience, so that's why we chose Chatsworth.
So this is it. Now our last contestant this morning, from the adrenaline that coffee brings you to the adrenaline that speed brings you. Our final contestants, 2 high school friends who fell in love with their teenage cars, and that love affair never ended. Now they make dreams come true at their Rossville shop. It's Top End Fabrications. At Top End Fabrications, Sean Bryson and Jason Harvey are in it to win it. Not so much for themselves, but for their clients who travel across the country to bring high-dollar, high-performance race cars to their Rossville, Georgia shop. Here you'll find Corvettes, Mustangs, Cadillacs, and more, carefully worked on and remastered for top speed and top performance. For Harvey and Bryson, it's a labor of love and friendship. The two met as teenagers, driving Brainerd Road on weekend nights in high school, developing a love of cars and the nostalgia they carry. Life took them down corporate career paths, but their passion for the feel of the wheel never left. And in 2018, they opened Top End Fabrications. They were instant hits on the racing circuit, where word of mouth proved their best and fastest referral. Now they are looking to grow in new ways, still in it to win it, as they compete in the Tvfcu Idealite Grant.
Hello everyone, I'm Jason.
I'm Sean.
We are Top End Fabrication. Sean and I met each other roughly about 30 years ago, 1995, out doing some stuff on the streets, in the car community, local racing programs. Then across the nation, we did a lot of racing. About 8 years ago, Sean and I took a step back away from the corporate environment and jumped right off both feet into a beautiful business of making race cars and performance vehicles for the community. Our goal moving forward with the LEAP program, we're looking to invest in our e-commerce. We want to make a $5,000 investment directly into our products and apparel line. We would like to put $10,000 into a powder coating oven and powder coating system, and then another $15,000 we're looking to invest in a plasma table, a laser table to start cutting and powder coating our own products in-house and to try to control some of that cost that we don't have control of in our business right now. And we really see that, you know, with our narrow margins of the hourly rate of building these cars, the e-commerce, we're seeing, you know, a 40 to 48%, some instances a 60% increase in revenue on products that we can sell across the e-commerce. With that addition of new products, we're looking to hire 2 new employees to, you know, bring in some of the younger community into this performance and automotive industry that they really don't know is out there. And we do, you know, with a lot of work that we do with the trade schools that Sean will get into later, this avenue really opens the door as an entry-level spot for some of these kids to really, you know, get into something that they didn't know was out there.
Yeah, as Jason was saying, we try to keep the community involved in what we do. We've had college students come and do summer internships with us. Just they have a passion for cars. I believe they were all 3 into engineering, yes. That path, but they love the cars and they wanted to come back as much as they can. So that's what we try to do to help the community. We also do donations. Any school, baseball, football, volleyball, soccer, rodeo, we sponsor just about everything. Just we're fortunate enough to be able to give back. So that's what we try to do. Every Christmas we collect canned food, perishables, donate to the Veterans Center. We give out gift cards to the local high schools so they can give them to whoever they think may need the most help. Yeah. It's hard for me to talk about that because I've always felt you give just to give. You don't give to get recognition. But we do try to put it back into the community. And I think that would also help us if we ever had any direct competitors that popped up. We already do have a few, and we actually work together with them on projects. But any new ones, I think our customers would still choose us just because we've been around it. We have the knowledge, the honesty, the integrity. We take care of all our customers. So I believe they would still choose us just because they know our work and that it speaks for itself. But with TVFCU's help, we're wanting to, you know, gain new employees, give back to the community every more, create at least 2 jobs. We'd like to do more.
Yeah, and definitely, you know, building off of what Sean said, rolling forward, you know, in the next 2 years, what we're looking to do, we're looking for, you know, a net revenue increase of, you know, 40, 60%. We'd really like to bring in a couple of new people. One of the big things that we're really passionate about is over the last 2 years, we've started bringing in kids from trade schools and high schools and welding programs and automotive programs that aren't truly aware of what's out there in the automotive industry that we can help facilitate. So we probably had, what, 300-400 kids come in over the last couple of years. Yeah. It's really been a great impact on them. A lot of them have reached out for summertime jobs. As Sean said, we've had some college interns, a couple of engineers, a couple of them wanted to drop their engineering program to come build race cars. Not really sure that was a great idea.
It's not a good idea, definitely not.
But, you know, being able to give back to these people, and we feel that, you know, with TVFCU's help on this, we could help grow the automotive industry in this area. And, you know, we're bringing up our competitors. We do have some local competitors. One of them actually was one of our former employees for a couple of years. Started a business 7 miles away from our shop right now. But we use a lot of his products in our shop, and he relies on us. Being able to powder coat stuff and cut product in-house, he could bring us business in here. Which is just ramping up the community around us. You know, it really helps us to help everybody. And, you know, at the end of the day, we're just thankful to be here. We thank all the judges. We thank TVFCU. We thank everybody for the participation in this. Channel 3, this has just been amazing.
Thank you all.
How did you guys come up with the funding to start your business, which is selling of your car?
Basically, I had some retirement that I'd cashed in, and just we dove in. We were fortunate. The person we rent the building from, we've known him for years, so he helped us out with that. And we just had a little money put back, and we dove right in head first.
I know it's painful. You don't want to mention it, but Sean and I raced for a lot of years. We raced competitively against each other, and then we teamed up and broke some records around the United States, some world records that we'd held. And unfortunately, we did have to sell both of our race cars in the early years, but starting off, like Sean said, we had some money we set aside, but as the business grew and we kept trying to elevate to the next level, we ended up, unfortunately, parting ways with both of our cars, which is, you know, it was a great thing in the long run. It got us to where we are, and it showed us, you know, with hard work and sacrifice, you can get anywhere you want to get, and that's really what drives us to give back and to show these people that with hard work, you can do anything you want to do.
We find that students are kind of going away from trades. What words of wisdom do you have for students to encourage them that the trades are a profitable business for them?
This is a very passionate thing for me. So college is great. College has a place in the world, but I do believe that children nowadays need different avenues of, you know, putting out there their resources, what they can offer the world. And trade schools give you that. I'm a perfect example. I did 3 years of college, transitioned into trade schools, and then went into welding in my 30s. So being able to bring these 18, 17-year-old kids in, and you watch them walk in the door and they're kind of glass-eyed looking around at all these cars, and by the end of a tour, they're over there wanting to weld stuff, they're asking questions, they're all involved. We're talking classes that, you know, they're supposed to be done by lunch, and at 4 o'clock they still can't get them out the door. So it's really, that really is a passion of mine, to drive these kids to know that there's stuff out there that they can get passionate about, get behind, and make a good living for their family and still enjoy what they do every day.
Okay, so now the exciting part. The contestants have made their pitches. Now the judges are on their way to make their deliberations. We are just minutes away from finding out who the winner is for this year's TVFCU Idea Leap Grant. But when we come back, we're going to talk to the creators of the Idea Leap Grant, find out what gave them this inspiration to give back to our community. It's an exciting day, just minutes away to the winner. Stick around.
TVFCU, a place for all of us.
Okay, girls, guess what? Today I've got some birthday money for you. First, we're going to give $3 of our $30, and that money is going to go to the porcupine exhibit, and it's going to help feed the porcupines. Okay, then the second thing that we're going to do is we need to save 10%, and that might be for another big toy later on, like a bike or something fun, right? So after we have given some of our money away and we have saved some money, then we can go buy a treat with the rest of our money. Give, save, and spend. I'm Tammy Zumprin with TVFCU at the Chattanooga Zoo, and we are sharing the magic.
So when the show kicked off, we mentioned that this is the 8th year for the Idea Leap Grant Pitch Competition, but it was all born from these two brains right here, Tommy Nix, Ryan Henn, who are very happy to have the work that they do, jobs that they do at the credit union. But this was y'all's kind of baby. Y'all co-created this thing, right, Tommy?
We did. It actually started with Idea Leap Loan in 2016, and the grant grew out of that. We kicked it off in 2018, and we're reinvesting the proceeds from the loan program into the grant program so that we can invest in these small businesses and help them grow.
So, you know, the judges we saw, Ryan, what a tough job they have. What were they looking for? What are they judging on?
You know, the key today was judging on their actual pitch, how they did, but they also want to know about the business, what they're going to invest in, how they give back to the community, how they're going to grow their business and make sure that this investment is very impactful for our community.
You are both very accustomed to that revolving door at the credit union of watching people come to you. I always have joked unintentionally and made the C in credit union community, because you're all about community at the credit union. But you see people come in, Tommy, for all different things. It might be small business loans. Mm-hmm. It could be a car loan. It could be to open a savings account. Mm-hmm. Always that customer service is important?
Absolutely. We serve the entire community. That's the roots of the credit union, is the community. And we want to invest back in that as much as we possibly can. This is one program that we do. There are numerous others that we do to support the Tennessee Valley area, the 17 counties that we serve, and to help our community thrive and grow.
You know, we mentioned, Todd did, about the $1 million given out over the course of these last 8 years in the Idea Leap grant. It began with the loan, however, the Idea Leap loan. So if you are perhaps an entrepreneur watching, Ryan, can they come to you to talk about a loan?
Absolutely. We love to have anyone reach out to us at tvfcu.com. We always post stuff on our social media about this. 634-3600 reaches us. We would love to talk to anybody who has questions about the next application or the loan program.
I know that y'all both probably enjoyed watching this morning as well. Are you a little bit white-knuckled wondering who the winner's going to be?
Well, fortunately, we're not part of that process. I've said every year, there's no way I'd want to be a judge because they have such a tough job. All these folks are deserving. We're so glad that everybody gets to walk away with a significant amount of money.
And I think it's great, too, as we wrap things up and wait for the judges to come in, that these were 5 contestants representing such a wide variety of businesses. So many of them have talked about the passion they bring for the love of what they do. So if you're watching this morning and there's something you love, they would love to help you bring it to fruition and have a small business of your own. I think I just got the cue. The judges are ready. So we're going to take our last break, come back, and find out who wins the money. We're back in a minute.
For all kinds of wheels. Tvfcu Auto Loans. For all kinds of nests. Tvfcu Home Loans.
Tvfcu, a place for all of us.
You have to visualize it and you have to conceptualize it, and then you go ahead and just start taking wood off, chip at a time. Once you've carved enough on it, you put glass eyes into them. And when you do that, they start looking at you. And you'll be working and they'll be staring at you, making sure that you're doing a good job. I'm Larry Ridge with Horsing Around and TVFCU sharing the magic.
Okay, we are back, the moment that we have all been waiting for. The judges are back, and now it is time to find out who the winners are of this year's TVFCU Idea Leap grant. The truth is, though, Tommy, they're all a winner.
They are. Everybody walks away with big money.
So I know that you are very quick to want to give thanks to the judges. They have had a very important role, not just today. Dion mentioned earlier about these site visits that they made. So kind of give a shout out to the judges and explain the work that they've done.
Absolutely. This couldn't happen without the group of volunteer judges. I mean, the large majority of this group volunteer their time, so we're extremely grateful for that. They did make site visits. Each one of them lasts about an hour. So they invested a great deal of time as well as watching videos prior to the site visits. So they invest a huge amount of their own personal time to help us put this on. And again, they're doing it from a volunteer standpoint. So we're extremely grateful. Big shout out to Dion because she is the judge wrangler extraordinaire. She has to coordinate all their schedules along with the site visits of the business owners. And they do that for multiple areas. So really excited for their participation and so grateful.
Yeah, and I will tell you this too before we reveal the winner, because build up is always a fun thing, that what these contestants had to do to get to this point was really impressive. They had to all make like a 5-minute video pitch just to enter into the semifinals, and they had to work their way through. I think the total pool, we're now down to these 5, begin with what, 80 plus?
This particular area, we were right around 80. Correct.
So here we are with our 5 who are remaining, and now it's time for them to get the money. So Todd, are you ready?
We're ready. The judges have returned the verdict, and Ryan, you have the first check.
Do it.
So this will be the second place finisher. So it's a $15,000 check. So the second place finisher in this year's Northwest Georgia Idea Leap is Red Eye Rooster Coffee.
Yay!
Congratulations.
I'll hug you. So I have to ask you something. We'll wait for the applause to die down. So $15,000. In your PowerPoint, you made a point of like $30,000 for a build out. This is going to carry you far?
Yes, this is absolutely going to. Look, Chatsworth! Yes, it is.
Well, we are very happy for you. Congratulations to you, Andy.
Thank you.
Okay, we're going to let you step back. Congratulations. Okay, Todd, who's next?
All right, so this is going to be the grand prize winner. This is the $30,000 check. Remember, as Tommy said, everybody walks away with at least $10,000, but this is our grand prize winner. The grand prize winner for the 2025 Northwest Georgia Idea Leap Gowan Valley Farms. Congratulations. Congratulations.
Thank you so much.
Congratulations.
Okay, I'll hug you too. I told you I became friends with all these people when we did these interviews. So $30,000. I don't mean to make you cry, but are you thinking about your grandfather?
Yeah, he'll be really proud.
Rescue Brigade.
Absolutely. He's definitely looking over us, and he's thrilled with this, and we're so grateful for the opportunity. Absolutely. Thank you so much to the TVFCU and all the judges.
So much.
So a second module coming your way now, right?
Oh yeah, more mushrooms for everybody.
Okay, so now we've had the two. There are 3 remaining. All of them, I'll let y'all walk back, Emma. All of them walking away with $10,000. That is no small amount of money, and we're going to call them each out by name, Todd.
That's correct. We want to thank all you guys for participating. Top End Fabrication, here's your $10,000. Thank you, guys.
Good to see you guys. Hey, they're proof that high school friendships really do last, right? Okay, great to see you guys. Congratulations. All right, next.
Next, we got Rosie May's Alpaca Farm.
Yay! Wait, come here, Rosie.
Congratulations. Congratulations.
Congratulations. Congratulations, Rosie. Are you going to make a cup of coffee when you get back?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And good luck with that build out. All right, last one.
And Bobby Joe Brooks, Fine Art and Photography.
Yay!
Congratulations.
Okay, no, wait, we got to hug you too. And look, you take still photography, we take live photography.
I know.
But look at that beautiful face.
Such a different experience.
Congratulations
Thank you so much.
to you.
Thank you.
So this has been such a fun thrill for us. We've never done anything like this before on 3+U. So y'all, this is your 8th year. We hope it will not be our only year to share in this experience.
We can't thank you guys enough. I mean, what you guys did and the opportunity for these businesses and the video that they have, the media that they have to promote their businesses, the number of eyeballs that seen their businesses is tremendous. And so thank you very much.
And I think I have 30 seconds left, so I'll make this plug. TVFCU, local. All these businesses, local. By all means, please, please put your dollars into your local community, your neighbors. You heard them all say how the real heart for them is in giving back and moving it forward. So thank you all so much.
Thank you.
Thank you, Julie.
Congratulations, everybody.
Welcome.